Hi everybody, welcome to Simply Scuba. Here we've got the Fourth Element Dry Snorkel. So as the name suggests, it's dry at both ends. You've got valves at the top, you've got valves at the bottom that are helping to keep all the water out of that snorkel so that you can breathe from it continually without water getting in and around your mouth. Good design, very smart and sleek. Lots of little features all over it that just make it a little bit more comfortable and practical to use. Let's take a closer look. So this is how it arrives, very Fourth Element, minimal packaging. I suppose, could you classify that tag as packaging? Because that's about all that it comes with. So yeah, of course they're going down a minimal route as far as packaging, so it's nice, sleek. The only packaging that you do get is this little tag with a bungee loop, and that just gives some little information about the snorkel, and then it's got the barcode on the back. And then onto the snorkel itself. So starting up at the top, so at the top of the snorkel, you have this pretty comprehensive wave deflector in this sort of plastic shield. So that helps so that if water is going to be splashing over the top of it, it's meant to deflect it away from the airway. So the airway is quite high up on this, but all the entry points are kind of to the side, so it helps to deflect any water from getting straight towards it. On the inside, you actually have a articulated joint with a small float underneath. So the float is so that if you go under the water, the float naturally wants to float up and it blocks the top of the snorkel. So that's going to help prevent any water from getting into the top of the snorkel, so that you can swim around under the water, come back up to the surface, and then gravity just naturally lets that drop back down, and then you don't have any water in that snorkel to have to clear out. You can just continue to breathe naturally. The tube itself is oval in shape, so it's a bit more hydrodynamic. The snorkel sits a bit closer to the side of your face, so it's very hydrodynamic, and it's a rigid snorkel, so it means that that airway is always open. It can't like fold over or anything and restrict it. This is a rigid snorkel. Below that, you have this clip. The clip attaches onto the side of your mask strap, and this can move up and down depending on where you need that snorkel to sit on the side of your head. It has an articulated joint on it as well. It kind of hooks over the top, but you have a push button as well. So if you push on that, you can leave that attached onto your mask, so you can store your mask away in its mask box, and then the snorkel separately, and then when you need to go and use them, you just push them together and you're ready to go. Down from the rigid section of the snorkel, you have this soft silicone flexible corrugated section. That's more for scuba diving, but also for snorkeling as well. It's quite nice, so that it can articulate. So the mouthpiece is wherever you need it to be. But for scuba diving, when you're not using your snorkel, you want it away from your mouth so that your regulator can come in. So that just allows the joint and the mouthpiece to just get out of the way of your regulator. The lower section of the snorkel has a water trap. So below the mouthpiece, you have all of this section here, so that if any water does make its way in, it's always going to go to the lowest point, which is away from the actual airway. So even if there is a small amount of water in the bottom, you can still breathe past it. As long as you're not breathing in too heavily, you can actually just breathe normal fresh air normally. And right at the bottom, you have a one-way purge valve, so that every time you blow out, you're actually blowing any water that's trapped in that little water trap. You're blowing it out to the bottom, so you don't have to blow it all the way up out to the top. It's clearing it, so it's great. This is why it's called the dry snorkel, because at both ends it's working to help prevent any water from getting in, so you get a nice clean airway. And then the mouthpiece itself is just a nice traditional soft silicone mouthpiece. You can remove this if you wanted to, if you give it a good tug. Obviously it doesn't come away freely, but if you do give it a really good tug, it can come free. So you can replace that at a later date if you ever do wear it out. And that's the Fourth Element Dry Snorkel. Who's this for? This is really for snorkelers who don't like water in and around their mouth. If you don't like sort of small amounts of water getting in your mouth and sort of in your airway, then this is the snorkel to go for, because that purge valve at the bottom is going to push any water out of the bottom just by naturally breathing. You've got the deflector and the actual dry valve in the top that's going to help to deflect and keep water away even if you duck under the waves. Everything about it is designed to keep water out so you can breathe nice and naturally. There's going to be more information on our website, simplyscuba.com. There's going to be a link down in the description below so you can check it out and buy it from us at Simply Scuba. Thank you for watching, everybody, and of course, safe diving.